Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to game 2 between White Unicorn and Go Figure Red. This is going to be the semi-finale for the Aces ROG tournament. So, the game 1 has been won by Go Figure Red, and joining me will be Zach7, co-casting with me. Hello there.
Hi, old bear. How are you this evening? I guess I just
We,
found out
we
the
just we
answer
just casted,
10
man.
minutes
Like
ago.
like, do you think that between like in the gap of 5 minutes, I just like I don't know. Like you think I changed personalities or something?
Just
Maybe
trying to
I
make a
would.
joke there.
Maybe I would. We don't know. So yeah, getting back into the game, putting off the social issues that we have, we see for Go Figurette a Clockwork, Rubik, Batrider, and a Lena being picked up. As for the side of White Unicorn, we see an Earthshaker Puck and a Vengeful Spirit being picked up, and the fourth pick is going to commence. As for the bans, we have a Darkseer, Venomancer, Shadow Fiend, and a Templar Assassin being banned out for White Unicorn, and a Nyx Assassin, Bristleback, Bloodseeker, and a Juggernaut being banned out for Go Figure Red. So, last game we saw that Go Figure Red banned out a Bloodseeker before that, and they did the same thing in this game also. So, what do you think about that ban on the Bloodseeker again, Zack7? Do you think they're just scared about that?
They are actually, and as I said last game, it is a very OP pick. They have banned that Juggernaut also this time, so they picked the Juggernaut last game, which is quite surprising. So they're just scared of heroes like that, and I think it's a very good strategic ban. It's just a general ban to get off that Juggernaut and Bristleback and the Bloodseeker off the charts. It is not directly a counter to these heroes per se, but it's just better with those heroes off the pool. That's what I figured.
Right. And we see, like these days, Bristleback is getting permanently banned in all these tournaments that we see. The Indian tournaments, at least, we see the Bristleback being banned out for every game. And we see a Weaver getting picked up for White Unicorn. A Weaver is a really strong hero. The Swarm deals a lot of damage, amplifying the amount of damage that the heroes from White Unicorn can deal. The Vengeful Spirit will amplify all the physical damage also, and the Puck is known for dealing a lot of right-click damage. So White Unicorn are looking really aggressive here.
Surprisingly, I would say that the Weaver makes for very good early game, mid game, as well as late game presence. It all depends upon the draft that's supporting that hero. And when it's all said and done, White Unicorn is again, as you mentioned, just now gone for a very, very aggressive draft. So it again depends on how well they execute it. When it comes to Go Figure Red, I think they are once again going for a textbook balanced draft. They have a Clockwork for their initiations, a support Batrider, which could be quite volatile in this draft. You have a Lena nuking down heroes, and it is a very good potential pick. So at this point of time, I am really confused whether it would be a Batrider mid or a Lena mid. So maybe you
I
could help
think
me out
that
with
is
that
going to
if you
be
can
Elena
clarify.
in the mid lane, while the Batrider is possibly going into the jungle or going to be laning with the Clockwork, because the Firefly plus the Cogs is going to lock people down. And I think that the last pick for White Unicorn is either going to be their safe lane carry if they play the Weaver in the mid, or it is going to be a mid laner if the Weaver is going to be playing in the safe lane. And we see the bans, a Sven being banned out for White Unicorn and a Slaughter being banned out for Go Figure Red. The thing about last game was White Unicorn did go for an aggressive draft even then, but they did not play their draft to their fullest potential, wasting the Night Stalker's potential to gank people and the Sand King's potential to lock people down. Okay, so a Spirit Breaker being picked up for White Unicorn, so I guess that is going to be a safe lane Vengeful Spirit. Or, okay, that is going to be a support Vengeful Spirit supporting the Weaver, while the Puck is going to go mid. It is not going to be an off-lane Puck, and the Spirit Breaker is going to go off-lane, solo off-lane, possibly against the hero which Go Figure Red is going to pick now.
They do have all they need is a carry at this point. So Go Figure Red is looking for a good potential carry. I'm looking on something down the lines of a melee carry probably. So they haven't banned Troll Warlord yet. That could be a good pick, but then again there is a Weaver, so they cannot counter that one.
Also,
There's a
they
lot of
could
kiting
go for
potential.
a Draw Ranger pick because the heroes from Go Figure It is mainly comprised of the Ruvik Batrider and the Lena. But we see a Lifestealer being picked up for Go Figure It. It seems as though the draft is being entirely reversed. We saw a Lifestealer being picked up for White Unicorn last game, and this game we are going to see Go Figure It going with the Lifestealer, looking for those shenanigans on the Batrider and the Clockwork. So, yeah, the game is about to start. Zack7, who do you think has the edge in this game?
I'm guessing that White Unicorn has a very simple draft, and or it all depends upon their execution. And however simple it might be, it is very aggressive as well. So at this point of time, I could say White Unicorn does have an edge early as well as mid game. But if it all goes well, Go Figure Red could very well clinch into late game, since Lifestealer is one of its kind.
Yeah, so Lifestealer would be able to deal a lot of damage to the heroes of White Unicorn. The stuns coming in from the Spirit Breaker and the Earthshaker will not be able to do much. Maybe the Spirit Breaker stun, since it goes through spell immunity, will be able to do a lot. But the Earthshaker's utility that he brings into the table, the stuns which the Earthshaker does, is not going to be able to do a lot to the Lifestealer. And we see the Lena probably in the mid lane wins against any other hero with the Dragon Slave spam. So I don't think the Puck is also going to have a really nice time unless the Puck is going to win the lane with a really smart play or something. So the game is about to start. Zack7, are you ready for this?
I am absolutely. It's going to be a treat to watch. So at this point, White Unicorn are under more pressure than Go Figure Red, because if we lose this, then we might as well be seeing an end to the first semi-final that we are watching right out here.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the game is going to get paused. So let me introduce the heroes again. For the side of Go Figure Red, we've got Snacks on the Clockwork, PMA on the Lifestealer, Drake on... Okay, this is looking really weird compared to last game, since the heroes have been swapped up. We saw Snacks playing the carry last game, and right now PMA is playing the carry, so I think they are being really flexible with what they are going to be playing, because yeah, there's that.
Awkward silences.
Yeah, awkward silences. Like I just ran out of things to say in the middle of the game. So the game is going to get paused. The Clockwork has disconnected from the game, possibly having a little bit of connectivity issues. So yeah, since he has reconnected into the game, let me go ahead and introduce them once more. The Lifestealer being played by PMA, Snacks on the Clockwork, Drake playing the Rubik, and once again, the name which I cannot be pronounced, playing the Lena, and Rachel Zane on the Batrider. So as for the side of White Unicorn, we have the Earthshaker being played by Dominator, JDM Clutch playing the Vengeful Spirit, Redemption on the Spirit Breaker, QWE on the Signature Mid, the Puck, and Kark on the Weaver playing the safe lane. So the Clockwork has reconnected into the game, but the game has still not been unpaused.
They are waiting for the Clockwork to stabilize his internet, I guess. That is what the whole delay is all about. But
Right.
I think we should be good to go in a couple of minutes, I guess, or even less.
True. So we see the Lena did not buy his items in the strategy time. We see the only one who bought the items is going to be the Rubik, and a smoke coming out for the side of Go Figure Red. And as usual, Rachel Zane placing the Observer Ward in the mid lane, getting that slight edge. I think that is the difference between Go Figure Red and a White Unicorn. Go figure it. Want to go for this early game advantage. The intelligence they get from the map. They want to take that advantage. We see 2 observer wards being placed for Go Figure It, one in the dire jungle and one in the mid lane. As for the side of White Unicorn, they have not been placing wards as of now. So the Batrider is kind of deep in. He is going to get spotted out by the Vengeful Spirit. A charge onto the Batrider. The Batrider is looking really grim right now. He does not have anything to work with. He uses the Firefly to go deeper inside. I think he is going to die in this fight.
He is. There's no doubt about that. He's getting locked down, and there's a
and the stun coming in from the Vengeful Spirit is going to make short work, and they give the first kill to Kark on the Weaver. What was Go Figure Red thinking when they sent the Batrider there? Hey man, throw your body at them.
1 sec.
Yeah, so
Quite a lot of sounds they have in their repertoire.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I did not buy the compendium in this patch. Like, I bought it the last few years, but then I chose not to buy that, and I regret that, really. I seriously want that Crybaby taunt, but too bad. I'm really poor.
I don't really regret not buying it, because if I were to buy everything that Dota releases every 15 days, I would probably have to sell some vital organs of my body.
True. At least this is not going to be CSGO. At least this is not going to be CSGO.
Exactly. But in CSGO, I do have some hope of actually winning something, whereas Dota just gives me some fake-ass cosmetic shit, I guess. I'm being very blunt over here.
True. So in the mid lane, it is going to be the Puck versus the Lina. The Lina is dealing a decent amount of damage. Getting that Puck out of the lane. So we see a charge. Okay, that is not going to be doing a lot. The Rubik is going to get driven out by the Spirit Breaker. The Spirit Breaker does not have the bash, so he will probably not be able to lock him down. There comes the Earthshaker. He is going to block out the Rubik, and the Rubik with the GG branch plays. He eats the GG branch and makes sure he lives.
That was a very smart play coming from the Rubik. There could have been like the second kill of the game right over there. And Clockwork is gonna harass the foes out of the lane.
So, Snacks on the Life Stealer. Okay, it seems as though Snacks swapped the hero with the Clockwork. So it's not going to be PMA on the Life Stealer.
It's gonna be PMA on the
Batrider.
is it? No.
It's going to be PMA on the Batrider. But we did see that PMA did pick the Life Stealer. He kind of swapped it out. So we see the Vengeful Spirit going deep into the offlane to secure that bounty rune, and we see a pause coming in from the side of Go Figure Red. A bunch of Russian being uttered.
Okay, it's taken an unexpectedly weird turn right out here, as Rubik is throwing out some very weird noises.
That's a baby crying. What's weird about a baby crying, dude? Are you against babies? Seriously? I thought we could be friends.
I would look it up as a bonus post. Oh, there's a charge coming.
There's a charge onto the Lina, but the Lina is not going to go down. The charge will not be accomplishing much except showing his face in the lane. And we see a rotation coming in from the Vengeful Spirit. The Courier is also going to get used. Possibly going for a stun on the Lina.
Pretty face.
Yeah. And we see the Lena is getting harassed out of the lane. White Unicorn making use of the aggression of their... And we see in the top lane, the Weaver is going to go down. One too many stacks from the sticky napalm is going to make short work of the Weaver. PMA taking a kill.
The Batrider is going to decimate his lane now. He has had a level advantage and he just needs his blink to come up real soon, and we could see Carnage right out in this map.
And we see that White Unicorn, as aggressive as they are, they have completely abandoned the bottom lane. The Earthshaker is going to TP there, trying to salvage as much experience as he can. But the thing is, the amount of lockdown that they have with the Clockwork and the Rubik into the game is not going to make life easy for the Earthshaker or anybody who's going to go to the bottom lane. As for the top lane, the sticky napalm char spam coming in from the Batrider is going to make life painful for the Vengeful Spirit and the Weaver. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the Lena is not looking really strong. So I guess the Puck does have a clear advantage over the Lena. And we see a commitment coming in. The LSA is going to miss. Okay, and QWE picking up a kill onto the Lena.
Onto the random Mandarin letters Lena, to be more specific. Batrider versus Spirit Breaker. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm pretty sure that it's going to be... I don't think that is a fight to bet on, Zack7. What are you on? What kind of drugs are you on, man? Okay, and we see a charge coming in onto...
Spirit Breaker is gonna jump in.
Okay. It seems as though the Spirit Breaker is just trying to be aggressive onto the batter, trying to chase him out of the lane with no intentions of killing him, I suppose.
I think he's all about that bark and no bite.
That is something which is meant for dogs, not for cows. Especially not for a space cow. Casting this seriously, and we see 4 sticky napalm charges on the Vengeful Spirit. The Vengeful Spirit is going to take a lot of damage. If he commits for a Firefly, maybe the Vengeful Spirit might go down. The charge coming in onto the Batter. The Batter is going to stay relatively safe since he is able to fly over cliffs. Really balanced. But in the mid lane, the Lena is going to go down once more. Go figure red.
That's a solo kill. That's something that's not supposed to happen.
It seems as though things are looking kind of grim for the side of Go figure red. They have lost the Lena twice in the mid lane. And we see the charge coming in from the Spirit Breaker. And he's not doing anything with that. He is still level 3. He does not have enough points into his bashes to go for anything significant.
So, the Charge of Darkness should be renamed to Free Teleportation Scrolls.
True. Good sport. And we see...
Ouch.
And we see the charge coming in onto the Clockwork. The Clockwork is going to get locked down by the Earthshaker. But the Lifestealer is going to show his face and be like, no, you do not hurt my friend. Go away. And they go away, listening to the Lifestealer. And meanwhile, in the mid lane, a charge coming onto... And the Lena is going to go down. Once more.
Ow. Poor Lena is like... Maybe she has like a dual talisman out there, and... I don't know what's going through her head right now. She really needs some kind of rotation from the supports and needs to stop overextending, otherwise... This could once again go in the favor of Go Figure Red.
Yeah, there is that. White Unicorn are being really aggressive. They have taken, say, how many kills right now? 3 kills onto the Lena. The Lena is 0 and 3. So maybe shutting down the Lena will prove advantageous enough.
I think there's another... I think the Clockwork's finally here to take care of that puck. Need a good hook shot there. It doesn't have one, level 3.
But that's the thing though, even if he gets a hook shot onto the puck, if he does, the puck is not a kind of hero who is going to sit in one place. He will be able to escape that. And a pressure being put on the top lane. Okay, the Vengeful Spirit is going to spot out the Batrider. The Batrider does not have a lot of mana, and the Bounty Rune is going to get secured. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the Lina is getting a decent amount of farm. The Dragon Slave spam coming in finally. Maybe he needs to stop going to the mid lane and going for more kills somewhere else around the map. We see the Spirit Breaker is going to be chased down by the Clockwork, but a fissure coming in from the Earthshaker is going to make sure he is going to live. The cogs are not going to get committed. Okay, the cogs are going to get committed, and the Earthshaker is going to get trapped in by the Clockwork, but that is not going to prove enough. Maybe they are going to feed another kill. Drake is getting really low, and the Spirit Breaker secures that kill. Rachel Zane in a really compromisable situation. The cogs coming in is not going to save him. Okay, maybe not. He is pushed to the high ground, but the Dream Call coming in from the puck is going to secure that kill.
Ouch. You don't want to be on the receiving end of that Laguna Blade, that first take out. The Rubik is going to come in with beautiful rotation, but do they have enough for actually securing that puck kill? No, they do not. Fortunately, puck is going to retreat to a safe distance. That was a very quick turn of events. It was a decent fight for both the teams, I would say.
True. And with that, so Zach7, can you elaborate on what is going on around the map?
I'm guessing the bottom lane, it's all about free farm for the Lifestealer, just as we saw last game. So there's not much changes there other than the fact that the Lifestealer has just changed teams here. And the Batrider is kind of babysitting Lifestealer, probably looking for someone to gank him since it's been so long he's been free farming. And not too soon, I would say, because there's the Space Cow raging across the battlefield once again. But okay, there is some funny audio emojis being shared while the Space Cow has again used the charge for his own teleportation. Other than the fact of that happening, we have the top lane where Weaver is farming peacefully. There's not much action there. He's smugly taken the first tier 1 and he's gonna continue farming, while Clockwork and Rubik are gonna figure out ways to actually stop that insect from becoming a really big nuisance.
And we see that Rachel Zane is getting really low. The Weaver is trying to commit for that kill, but he will not be able to do anything else.
They really need pest control over there.
Your jokes are getting out of hand.
Just trying to keep it alive, you know.
Trying to keep it alive. I wish if only Dota heroes did that more. And we see a TB coming onto the mid lane. The Clockwork is going to scout out the puck, but the puck is going to rotate down to the bottom lane, securing the Illusion Rune. Maybe trying to go for a rotation onto Snacks on the Lifestealer. The puck does have his Veil of Discord.
Weaver comes, takes a last hit, has his perseverance, just, you know, turns on his ability to move about at maximum speed with while
yeah, so the boots being picked up for the Weaver. The thing is, we have seen Weavers not playing with boots at all. Like, they just rely on the Shukuchi's ability to face through enemies.
I'm guessing that that was a very desperate pickup because you need to, you're facing a Clockwork and a Batrider. I think boots is warranted for. Lina, the Space Cow is going to rage across the battlefield once again.
And the LSA is going to connect the Dream Call coming in from the puck. That is going to make sure that Lina is going to go down. The Illusory Orb securing that kill. The stun onto the Clockwork. The Clockwork is getting really low, but he is going to be able to escape. The rotation coming in from the Lifestealer. The Lifestealer does spot out the Vengeful Spirit. The Vengeful Spirit is going to get infested and slowed. He does have a stun if he wants to use that. He uses the stun, only delaying his inevitable death. He is going to get ticked off by the tier 2 tower. And another kill being picked up. The puck is getting really low. The battery assault is going to connect, and the Firefly from the Batrider
Ouch.
is going to secure that kill.
Meanwhile, the Space Cow is once again using the Lifestealer as a means of teleportation and quite conveniently charging all the way down. There you go. Oh, there you have a Space Cow who's actually working as an observer ward. That's quite a change in roles. So, what do you think about our new observer ward here?
What should I change?
Look at this. Oh, he's gonna charge away again. Oh, he stopped once again. Redemption is being quite volatile here.
So we do see that the Spirit Breaker has picked up the haste rune. If he goes for a charge on any of these heroes, he will be able to deal a lot of damage with the bash, since it does scale really well with the movement speed. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Rachel Zane with the Lifestealer inside of him trying to look for a pickoff. Maybe the cogs are not going to connect. The Earthshaker is there, so if he decides to spot him out and go for a kill, that will be nice. But we see a charge coming onto the Clockwork. The Clockwork is going to get really low, and the Lifestealer is going to turn on, try to take a kill onto the Earthshaker. The Earthshaker is going to get swapped out by the Vengeful Spirit, and the Clockwork is going to go down with no other heroes being dropped dead for the side of White Unicorn. The tier 1 is possibly going to go down. The lift onto the Weaver. The Weaver is going to get fairly low, but the lack of vision is going to make sure he is going to survive. Meanwhile, a charge onto the heroes in the mid lane. It is going to get cancelled abruptly by the Spirit Breaker.
I don't think I can trust the Spirit Breaker anymore.
Yeah, like it seems as though he wants to go for a commitment, but he does not want to. It's like every romantic relationship ever. That is how the Spirit Breaker is.
I'm guessing it's more like the Spirit Breaker using free Uber coupons all the while.
Okay,
He's
that
always having a free ride over here.
okay. So we see a TP coming onto the mid lane. The puck has TP'd. A rotation coming onto the mid lane. The heroes from the side of Go Figure Red are fairly huddled up, so if one of them gets caught out, the rest of them can go ahead and support them. But the amount of farm that, the amount of kill potential that they have, White Unicorn has, far outweighs the amount of farm that they have. And we see a charge coming onto the Batrider. The Batrider is going to go down. The charge and the Nether Strike is going to make short work of him. And meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we see that the Weaver is zoning out the Lifestealer. The Lifestealer is not able to do much with the Swarm. And we see a charge coming onto the Lifestealer. The Lifestealer is going to walk right into that. And the stun coming in from the Earthshaker. The Rage from the Lifestealer is going to make sure he's going to live a little bit longer. The swap out from the Vengeful Spirit is going to save.
Quite a beautiful Echo Slam.
Yeah. That Echo Slam secured that kill. But that is not going to come in a steep price, since the Battery Assault and the Hookshot from the Clockwork is going to secure a kill onto the Vengeful Spirit. But the Weaver is able to escape. The Spirit Breaker will also be able to charge away, getting a charge onto the Lena. If the Lena is going to get caught out by the Spirit Breaker, that is going to be one more kill going the way of Team Unicorn. But he does TP away. So yeah, there's that. The charge is also getting stopped abruptly again. So Lena is going for a Bloodstone. That is going to give him a lot of tankiness, but also it is a, you know, like it is going to be a really volatile item. But then again, when someone with a Bloodstone dies, they do heal up the team. And seeing the way game is going, Lena is dying a lot, so if he's going to die a lot, at least he can heal up the heroes around him.
And what about Weaver?
So we see the Weaver having picked up his ultimate orb. He's really close to his Lincoln Sphere. He only needs a few more gold, a few hundred, and he once that happens, I do not I do not think that the lasso from the Batrider will be a really good initiation tool. They will have to cancel out the Lincolns with either the Lifestealer's Infest or the Rubik's Fate Bolt. So we see a smoke rotation coming in onto the top lane. They are going to spot out the Weaver. He does not have the Lincolns here yet, so if he gets caught out, he is going to die. The invisibility coming in from the Weaver, the lasso, and the life shield is going to pop out, but the time walk is going to make sure he is going to survive. The lasso duration not being enough to secure a kill. And we see the rotation coming in from the side of White Unicorn. They want to go for a return kill. The Spirit Breaker is looking for someone to charge on, but they are not able to do so. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the Spirit Breaker changes his targets and a stun onto the Lina. The Lina is going to go down. The Rubik is possibly also going to go down. But he does heal up the Rubik, but the Rubik is going to go down, being swapped out by the Vengeful Spirit. 2 kills going the way of White Unicorn. And the Lina with the Bloodstone charges feeding away those crucial early game charges which he gets once he gets the item.
And at this point, they're just gonna hold off because they have lost a lot of blood, I would say. Go figure it. And they need to really compose themselves and come back with a great gank. They need to carry Dust, or at least Sentry was first, Dust later.
But an Echo Slam coming in from the Earthshaker is going to get the Lina really low, and the Lina goes down again. 2 deaths since the Bloodstone has been completed. I do not think Lina is playing really well to her advantage. She can play better, but she is getting caught out by the Spirit Breaker, and the Echo Slam coming in from the Earthshaker dealing a lot of damage, securing them down. The silence onto the lifesteal. The lifesteal is going to get really low. He is going to get swapped up. But the heroes from the side of White Unicorn are getting really low. Kark coming in from as a Weaver. The Swarm is going to deal a decent amount of damage and secure a kill onto the Clockwork. The Earthshaker is going to drop down. But the Spirit Breaker is going to survive. And we see the Rubik will not be so fortunate. 1 more kill going the way of White Unicorn. The Lifestealer is getting really low. QWE is going to get caught out. And the lasso onto the puck is going to secure that kill. And we see that the fight is nowhere near ending yet. The Weaver is going to be able to time-lapse and be safe for now. 2 heroes going for the side.
Hey. I would like, could you just switch your voice to in-game voice instead of party chat, because people are watching the game right from the client as well, so they cannot hear you.
Alright, I will do that.
The in-game. Yeah, because we are talking on party chat.
And we are going to get back into the game. We see the Rubik having rotated onto the mid lane. He steals out the Illusory Orb. And we see 3 people from the side of Go Figure Red trying to go for a kill. The lasso onto the Spirit Breaker is going to deal a decent amount of damage. Kark coming in with the Swarm dealing a decent amount of damage. Also, the Dream Call from the puck will not be able to accomplish a lot. Now we see what Go Figure Red can do. The swap coming in from the Vengeful Spirit. The puck is going to be relatively safe for now. The Battery Assault is going to connect onto the puck, but the puck will be able to survive. Meanwhile, near the Rouge Pit, we see the Weaver getting really low. The Batrider and the Rubik trying to chase him down. They do pop up the Lincoln Sphere.
This fight was quite good for Go Figure Red. They could actually, you can actually call it a potential comeback, because I guess just like midlife crisis, they are facing mid-game crisis. White Unicorn really need to get their stuff together. They need really impeccable initiations at this point, because all heroes of Go Figure Red are standalone players. You can give a Batrider and a Lina space and they could do miracles. You can completely ignore the Lifestealer and he could decimate your lanes. So they really need to get it all together and actually execute a well-planned gank in order to get a foothold back in this game. Don't you agree?
Yes, I do, and we see that the Lina is slowly getting back into the game, even though her Bloodstone charges are quite low. She has gained a few of those in the skirmish that just happened right now. And we are going to see a Shadow Blade being built up on the Lina. The Lina will be able to go for more kills, and the survivability of hers is also going to increase with that. So
they're just playing it safe, I guess. White Unicorn regrouping and farming.
Yeah, we see a Hurricane Pike being queued up for Kark on the Weaver, and once he is able to farm all of those items, I do not think a Weaver is someone who can be outcarried by a Lifestealer. A Weaver deals a lot of damage, and once he gets tanky enough, it will be almost impossible to kill a Weaver, even if he has a Lincoln Sphere. And we see smoke coming up from the side of Go Figure Red. The Clockwork is not going to get hit by the smoke. He's probably going to serve as the bait. We see the Batrider using the Firefly is going to get a lasso onto the Puck. The Puck is getting really low, but he is going to survive for some time. The Vengeful Spirit is not going to be so fortunate. The Batrider is going to go down. And we see the silence onto the Rubik. The Rubik is getting really low, but the Puck will not be able to commit for that kill. We see the side of White Unicorn trying to go for more kills, and they will be able to do so. The Lina is going to go down, getting picked up by Dominator on the Earthshaker. The Battery Assault will not be able to do much. He uses the cogs to zone them out, but the hook will not be successful, and he is going to go down. The Puck's picking up that kill, and that is going to be a 4-man wipe on the side of Go Figure Red. White Unicorn picking up that fight amicably and making sure that they will be able to get back into the game.
They did actually, and White Unicorn are now gonna proceed to take the tier 2 from Admir, just like Go Figure Red did last game. So I'm guessing that Team Dire is the stronger pick, because it seems that White Unicorn have suddenly gained a lot of momentum and are making a good comeback into the game.
It's because of what you just said. A Weaver does not have a really good time window where he performs really bad. He performs well in the early game, in the mid game, and the late game. So what you predicted is going to come true, and we see the heroes from the side of White Unicorn are going to huddle up. Maybe looking for a smoke gank, maybe not. The Weaver does have a double damage. He is going to go deep inside of the Radiant jungle, trying to scout out whoever possible. He will be able to deal a lot of damage onto the Rubik. The Rubik is getting really low, but we see an infest onto the Weaver. The Weaver is going to get really low, but the LSA is going to miss, and he is going to get trapped by the Clockwork. The Clockwork is going to get really low, and Echo Slam coming in on just under the tier 3 and will be able to secure a kill onto the Clockwork, but they do feed the Earthshaker and the Puck for that kill. Go Figure Red making a comeback into this fight, and an LSA onto the Spirit Breaker is going to make sure he is also going to die. The Weaver will be able to escape as of now. The Vengeful Spirit deep inside of the jungle, trying to farm up his items, having a Force Staff as of now in his quick buy. And we see the Weaver is going to give away the Shikuchi to the Rubik, so he will be able to scuttle about, get a decent amount of intel from the Radiant for the Radiant side.
So Lifestealer actually resisted picking up that regeneration rune. I don't think anyone would ever be able to successfully pull that off. And there's a gank that's coming on. The Vengeful Spirit is going to get trapped. Poor soul. Poor Spirit, I would say.
Poor Spirit is going to die, and we see the bottleneck that White Unicorn have. Even though they had a really convincing early game, getting a lot of kills onto the Lina, it seems as though the potential of the heroes is going to go down. since the heroes like Lina and the Lifestealer are clearly going to be really strong in the mid game compared to the rest of the heroes other than the Weaver for the side of White Unicorn. The Weaver, having completed his Dragon Lance, is going to finish his Force Staff sometime soon. Okay, he is not going to go for the Force Staff as of now. He is going to go for the BOTs. So they want to play the split push game, I guess, White Unicorn.
They're gonna assemble and push mid. So I would again take this time out to actually look out at the wording. This word has been adjacently placed to this word. I think the whole idea would be to gain control of this section of the river, because they have actually gotten control of mid lane straight out, and they could set up very good jungle gangs if they want to. But other than that, the entire map is dark for White Unicorn, so I would say that they really need a bit of work in their warding part.
And we see these two wards being placed by the side of Go Figure Red. These are going to give really strong intel about people TPing onto the lane in the mid lane, and the ones who are going to be farming the jungle in the right side for the side of White Unicorn. So Go Figure Red do have the potential to go for a lot more kills than what White Unicorn are going to be capable of. And we see a blade mail being completed for the Clockwork. That is going to be a really crucial item that is going to make sure that the amount of damage that the puck deals, the AoE damage, is going to be spread out right back at him.
An interesting point to note would be that it's 28 minutes into the game, and although White Unicorn have been dominant in the game, they haven't been able to execute a very good pushing line as compared to the last game. That will be mostly because of lack of pushing potential. You only have a Weaver who's gonna be farming and split pushing, as compared to a Puck who can nuke down waves of enemies as well. But Earthshaker, Venge and Spirit Breaker are really lacking in that department. When it comes to Go Figure Red, they have a Lina to clear waves actually, and a Lifestealer, but he's not that potent in pushing lanes when it comes against a Puck or a Weaver. So
and we see a charge onto the Batrider. The Batrider is going to get stunned up. Maybe he blinks away, but the Nether Strike trying to get committed by the Spirit Breaker. He's going to cancel it at the last moment.
They're gonna regroup. I think Go Figure Red is actually looking forward to committing to this push and to a fight, if that, so be it. If that's gonna happen, so be it. And so our White Unicorn, we are looking at a 5v5 fight right out here, because only Weaver seems to be the one who's out of position and he too has a BOT. So we could well be looking at a potential team wipe for either of the teams. And they have initiated, they're gonna get that Vengeful Spirit.
It seems as though he is going for the tier 2 down the bottom lane. The Weaver is going to secure that, and he TPs back into the top lane with the BOTs. And the amazing Dream Coil from the Puck is going to make sure that they live for a long time. But the LSA connects onto the Spirit Breaker and the Weaver. The Weaver is going to get killed by the Lina, and that is a triple kill going for the Lina. And Go Figure Red trying to transition that fight into a push onto the high ground. We see the Puck dealing a decent amount of damage. The Swarm being committed from the Weaver is going to make sure that the armor for each of these heroes is going to be really low. And Infest coming onto the Puck. The Puck will not be able to escape as of now. The Firefly is going to make sure he is going to get locked down.
Oh, he's in real trouble here, and there he goes. The Puck is nuked down. I think there's nothing to stop them from taking this Rax here, and the Weaver can only but watch from far.
Well, he can commit for the kill onto the Lifestealer. The Lifestealer is going to get swapped by the Vengeful Spirit, and he is going to go down. Dominator on the Earthshaker picking that kill up. The charge coming in. The Nether Strike is not going to connect onto the Batrider. The Batrider will be able to live as of now. And we see the Rubik is also going to go down. 2 return kills going for the side of White Unicorn. But for what in exchange? They lose a barrack of their own.
So if you'd ask me, that is a fairly good trade. And the Lifestealer was just caught out. That was unlucky. Otherwise, they would have actually escaped unscathed from that push out there.
And we see that the game is fairly even though one barrack is down for the side of White Unicorn. Karg looking really strong. Once he completes that Desolator, he will be able to deal a lot of damage. We see a stun coming onto the Clockwork, and the Clockwork is going to go down. He decided to TP, but he did not know that the Earthshaker was also around. He goes in, blinks in, and enchant totems and locks him down, securing that kill.
I think without a Rax, White Unicorn is going to be really struggling with the pushing part here. So Go Figure Red can actually relax and focus on getting that life stealer back. Meanwhile, Lina is going to get ganked, and that's a pretty easy pick up. Oh, she's going to commit suicide.
Okay, so the Lina denies the kill for QWE and the Spirit Breaker. The commitment going a little bit of a waste. So the Lina does draw on the map, signaling his comrades that a bunch of heroes are in the Radiant jungle.
This is going to be the stand against I think without Alina, but she's respawned pretty well. She had quite a lot of Bloodstone charges. She's still having 10. So.
And the Lina TP is onto the top lane. Using the Shadow Blade, he's trying to look for a kill onto the Weaver. The Weaver is going to scuttle away. The Weaver is possibly going to live. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, a push ensues. We see the Rubik TPing in, but he is going to get stunned up. But they will not be able to commit for that high ground push, and Team Unicorn are going to retreat. The Weaver pushing the mid lane. He might get caught out by the Clockwork, but the side of Go Figure Red do not have anyone else to back the Clockwork up.
Rubik has that Vanning Rift that's going to prove quite useful and pushing back the lane that they have. White Unicorn have so difficultly managed to push up high ground. There's that. That's the advantage of getting a Rubik on your team. You can pretty much adapt to any role that your team requires. So there's that. Unless you are quite adept at playing supports that are 4 and 2, transitioning your carries into probable, utility heroes, a Rubik pick is much more preferred.
And we see the heroes from both sides are going to gather into the mid lane. The Rubik trying to look for a smoke. He is asking, he's pinging it out. And the thing is, they are directly under an observer ward from the side of White Unicorn. If they smoke right under that, they will be able to spot that out.
Let's look at the farm that Lifestealer has amassed. He has Kalbasha, he has a Sanjan Yasha, has a Hyperstone up with a reserve of 2.2k gold. I'm guessing a buyback status, it's safe for that. And meanwhile, if you look at the Weaver, he has 2.5k gold himself, has a Lincoln Sphere and a
Dragon Lance
for some reason, which is a very petty item. A Dragon Lance.
The thing is, the Blightstone will be able to go for a Desolator. The Desolator is really close by. He only needs 500 gold to secure that.
Could have had a beefier item, perhaps something on the likes of a Manta. Perhaps he could get more of mobility and agility, and a pushing potential with that Manta up there.
He could, but then again, if he is going to get caught out by the Bat Rider, it's not going to matter much, since the Weaver is sure to go down, since the amount of damage that the Lifestealer deals is pretty out of the charts as of now. We see that the gold deficit that
this one needs a blink dagger. I would say the Lifestealer definitely needs one right now.
And we see the Regen Rune also being picked up by Snags. He has the Aegis of the Immortal and picks up the Regen Rune, so he will be able to fight. And we see a lasso coming onto the Vengeful Spirit. The Vengeful Spirit is going to get caught out, and the machine gun that is Lina is going to make short work of that. The Lincoln Sphere being used on the Lifestealer. The Lifestealer is going to be safe for now. He is not going to get caught out by any of the heroes. Maybe an Echo Slam from the Earthshaker will be able to delay that push. The Earthshaker is trying to look for that, but he will not be able to do that. A hook coming onto the Earthshaker. The Earthshaker is going to get zoned out, and the heroes from the side of Go Figure Red are going to be relatively low. The Earthshaker trying to look for a good Echo Slam opportunity, but the Rocket Flare from the Clockwork is disabling his Blink Dagger time and time again. And the heroes from the side of Go Figure Red are looking really strong right now. They are trying to go for the shrine, and they will be able to do so. A gem being picked up.
Snacks. Yeah, I think Snacks just wants to snack on white. He doesn't need just.
You should you should do stand-up comedy, man. Like, casting Dota is not the right thing for you. With the amount of puns that you bring onto the table. But seriously, good show, well played. I'm so glad that you're here casting with me. I'm not lonely anymore. And that is going to transition onto a push down the bottom lane. The tier 2 is going to get contested, possibly going to go down. Yeah, it is going to go down. The machine gun, that is the Lina, is going to deal a lot of damage. The Batrider is looking to get a pick off on one of the heroes. The Lifestealer giving a vital vision. The arrow spot out the Vengeful Spirit. The Vengeful Spirit could get caught out by the Batrider, but the Batrider is not going to commit for a lasso just yet.
I think random Chinese alphabet here is really trying hard to push into the enemy lane.
Yeah, and you see the Lincoln Sphere being completed on the Lina. That is enough for her to do a lot of things. And the Lina uses the Shadow Blade, trying to go for a kill on some hero or the other. He is going to spot out the Weaver. The Weaver, if he gets caught out right about now. And the LSA is going to connect, and the Orchid and the Lasso is going to make sure that the Weaver is going to go down. This could transition onto a push to the tier 3s. The Life Shield having pushed up.
Doesn't have a buyback.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a buyback. This is almost done. I think this is over.
I think without the Weaver buying back, the game should be done. As of now, the Puck is trying to delay the game with the shenanigans that he is capable of. And the Spirit Breaker is going to get zoned out. The tier 3 is going to go down. The barracks are also going to get contested by the Lina. The Lina is doing short work of the barracks. The attack speed from the Lina making short work of the dire structures. The LSA is not going to connect onto the Puck, but a lasso onto the Earthshaker. The Earthshaker is in a really compromisable situation, and he goes down. The Laguna Blade he is going to secure the kill. The LSA onto the Spirit Breaker again. So I guess that is going to be game. They are diving deep inside.
Just snacking. Just snacking on enemy heroes there.
And you see that, right? They have no respect for the side of White Unicorn. The armlet toggles coming in from the Life Shielder. The Aegis is going to get popped up, but the tier 4s are going to go down, and GG well played is going to get called out by the Puck. And Go Figure Red take the game, take the semi-finale, and they are looking really strong right now. So game 2 goes to the side of Go Figure Red, and they win the best of 3 series between White Unicorn. White Unicorn, GG, well played. You played really well, and with that, the game is going to end. Zach7, do you have any words to say?
Go Figure Red. Yeah, I was just summing up by saying congratulations to Go Figure Red. They have advanced to the Asus ROG finals, and we are shortly to find out who's going to be their opponent. It'll be at 9:30, am I correct?
It is going to be much sooner than that. We are going to start the game soon enough. But as of now, the stream is going to end. But stay tuned for the next semi-finale. And with that, this is going to be Old Bear signing off. Stay tuned for Asus ROG's next semi-finale.